Hey guys, next episode we're going to fix the frame on the old 85 AMC Eagle. Just pulled it in the shop. All in all, the body's in pretty good shape, but the unibody is where the problem is. But the unibody frame is pretty good shape. There's no rust holes. It's in good shape. The frame's good on this side. All is well. On this side, not so much. Hole in the frame there. Hole here, rusted through terribly where the steering box mounts, and then really bad back here. This is just rot. It is gone. This section here is gone. Up in here where this rear mount for the A-arm mount, that's all rotten. And it's just rot all in there. So, and this frame isn't like a standard frame. It's a unibody, which is basically formed sheet metal instead of like a C-channel frame, a heavy gauge stuff. This is a little bit lighter gauge, but it's formed into the body. I'm going to repair that. So I'm going to start by taking off all the components, the wheel, the A-arm, stuff like that, and we'll get into fixing the frame on this thing because I want to be able to drive it. It's in pretty good shape otherwise, so no use scrapping this thing. Man, this thing's a bigger mess than I thought. It is rotten. There's holes here. It's been patched with, once before someone tried to create a patch right here, wrapped it around, got part of it. They didn't even go underneath this mounting for the A-arm bracket. Well, I'm gonna pull the exhaust off so I can, I gotta get the exhaust pipe out of here so I can take the differential to get back up underneath there. These nuts up here are freaking tight. That's just full of rusted debris up in here. This is rotten. I chiseled it out, hammered on it, took the grinder to it, getting it ready to maybe weld in a section, but this is total rotten frame on this thing. So the plan is to make a couple paper templates for this. Probably a flat strap here, suspension mounts here, way up here, this big bracket. And patch this all in, maybe get another 10 years out of it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this paper doll cutout right here. Second one goes up to the shock. This is the upper air. Gonna weld it onto this big metal stamping. We've got another one folded up here. A big Z-bend here, and that'll get bolted through with some bolts on this side. When they patched it before, there's a few bolts. We're going to sandwich that together, and it's going to be welded all along the corner here. It's all cleaned out along here, and then finally I got to make one more piece. I'm going to bend the U-channel here and cap this whole thing with a big channel all the way down. All right, took my paper templates and transferred it to 16 gauge steel here using a plasma cutter. This one had a little press brake action for that one. Fits like that. This one fits like that. The big one here runs down the side. And then this long U-channel looking deal that goes on the bottom of the frame like this. That's gonna straddle around the bottom of that frame, and that'll be bent up around that S-curve shape. I gotta cut a bunch of pie cuts in it like this on the side here so I can fold it, and then these will open up this way so I don't have to pie cut these. And I'll do that, and then we'll start bending and getting each piece put in place one at a time. All right, I got this A-arm mount here that's got to mount up to the frame in 3 locations. Here, it's a nut welded in here. Here, that goes all the way through the frame to the outside. That's good. And then this one is gonna go straight up. I gotta add a spacer here that was rusted and missing. That's gonna get welded in here, and then that'll prevent it when I put a bolt in here from pinching this together. So I'm gonna weld that in first. Got it kind of notched here to here. Got a hole drilled in it to clear a bolt up top. We're gonna sneak it under this old boiler plate that someone put on here. I mean, it's not perfect. It ain't perfect, but it looks darn good up there. See, got about a little 1/8 inch overlap right here, so I can lay a bead of weld right in here, weld up all these little slits, and then I'll put a patch over this. This will get a patch here, and I'll get a patch covering all this on the inside. Okay, the first piece is tacked in right here. Looks pretty good. Second piece is this piece here. There's gonna be 3 bolts across here. There's 3 bolt holes up top there where it kind of patches on the outside to this outer patch. So we're just gonna transfer drill those through, and then here's that's a spacer I put in there for the A-arm mount, and that's gonna mount tight up against that outer wall there, and then there's going to be a plate welded against all of this. All right, I got the second Z-bend piece put up in here. There's 3 bolts across the top here. That's sandwiched on this side, so it's all clamped together because I can't get up here and weld. I got the crush preventer tube in here. It's a little bit of a gap right there. I got it pulled down together. I might put a tack of weld right here just to keep everything aligned, but I am gonna run the drill bit up through here and drill a hole. It's a 1/2 inch bit. That almost knocked my teeth out. All right, now to put this part up here. So this guy fits up in here, tucks behind here. I'm gonna weld it right here to the frame. It's tight, we got about an 1/8 inch gap here. Fold this down, weld that, and then we'll slam that piece right here. All right, I got this patch ready to go, the big one here, just like this. We're gonna weld the whole perimeter of the box here. I cut it just a little bit small so I could weld along that radius. Mark it here, I gotta take a little off with the plasma cutter. All right, the inside of the frame is done. We're gonna move to the outside. One final piece here, cover up this. So I got the channel. This outer piece was scabbed on here years ago as a patch. We got this final piece right here. I left room for weld at the top and room for weld right here. We'll stitch all 3 together, come around the bad. Well guys, that finished the welding job. All right, let's take a look at this thing. So here are the patches we got welded in the frame. It looks pretty good. I'll just put the light down here. So this was welded down. That's a threaded insert. There's a bolt up there. We got a couple washers welded around the frame. 3 bolts up there. This is welded all the way down here. On the inside, same thing. That's 16 gauge. Welded on, and then I even came up in here and got the 3 bolts up there. And this was the toughest. This was some tough going for welding up here. It's really rusty. I couldn't get up there and grind it very well, but it's just tying this piece to the frame. So yeah, we're gonna put on we gotta put on this bracket here. So this bracket mounts up underneath here, and I'll show you how that goes, like this. All right guys, finally time to put a little primer on it. Oh, that's so great. I don't even care if I shoot a little bit on the fuel lines that are total rust back here. I am gonna be putting in a patch here, about a 6 by 8 inch patch on that. For now, we're gonna just get the suspension fixed. I double welded huge fat washers here on that one, that A-arm mount for that bracket. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna hit it with some indoor-outdoor rust stop black. Got the suspension all back in, suspension bracket bolted down, ready to set on the ground here. All right, there's a few spots under the hood that have some rust here on the shock towers here, and then a couple areas here. And I'm gonna hit these with this corrosion inhibitor. This is really good stuff. I also use fluid film. It's a product you can buy online, and you can spray that out of a gun. But and that you can spray inside the frame if you got holes drilled in the frame. But this stuff is like kind of a oily type substance, and it's not a paint. It stays kind of oily like that, and really good for application like this. Even did a little test here. Just lifted the vehicle with one of the pads here right on the frame section that we replaced. Looks like that 16 gauge steel holding up fine. Well, after that quick frame repair, got the Eagle out, took it for a rip around the neighborhood here out in the country. It drives good. It needs an alignment now, so I'm gonna get an alignment done on this thing. But a couple other things I'd like to mention, guys. If you're gonna do frame repair, you can either, when you got it all, the frame all the rust removed, and I got this chewed up frame, you can either seal that with like an Eastwood rust preventative, or like what I'm gonna do here is after now that I got the frame fixed, I'm gonna put like that CRC rust preventer or a rust lick product that I use. I'll put a picture of that, what I purchased. You can spray inside the frame to prevent further rust from happening. And if you just do that on a good frame, that'll save your frame too. Thanks for watching, guys.